Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Dr. Ray, and today we are going to be exploring a home-cooked diet recipe. So if that's something that interests you, hang out with us and stick around. All right, so for those of you that are new, my name is Dr. Ray. I'm a small animal general practitioner, and on the channel, we discuss all things pet. I will bring my real-world expertise from the clinic, and I try to implement that and answer questions that I hear commonly, not just here on YouTube, but also things that I hear almost every day at my clinic. The big thing that I hear is that people are wanting to shy away from feeding kibble, and a lot of that is, it's new marketing, new hype, new buzz that's going around, and rather than try to tell you don't do it, I want to give you helpful ways to do it appropriately. And so a home-cooked diet is only as good as the balance that diet brings. And so there are a lot of places on the internet where you can go and they have these just like cookie cutter recipes of diets where you add a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and one size fits all. And that seems simple and that seems really fun to do, but the reality is most veterinarians are going to be a little concerned with that because we don't know the nutrients that are in that diet when you do that. You can't, the person that's making that recipe has no idea your pet's specific needs, doesn't know your pet's breed, doesn't know your pet's weight, doesn't know what ingredients you're sourcing, where those ingredients are starting, where those ingredients are ending. And so basically when I have someone that is feeding a home-cooked diet, the easiest way to make sure it passed the test or not is just to use the PSS on it. If you can't tell me in your home-cooked diet what the calcium, the phosphorus, the protein, the fat, and the fiber are, those basic things, if you don't know that, then there's a very good chance that it is imbalanced and it's actually going to be less beneficial to your pet than a commercial diet that is. And so today we're going to use the help of Balance.it .com, which is a website. I have a screen capture. We're gonna work through this together to come up with a home cooked diet example, and then you can follow this example if you are interested in doing a home cooked diet for your pet. Okay, and so there is a right way to do a home cooked diet, and there is a wrong way. The wrong way is just as bad as feeding all those low bottom shelf kibble, etc. things that you guys are worried are not good for your pet. Feeding a home cooked diet that's not balanced is just as bad, if not worse, because most of those diets that are like bottom shelf still pass AAFCO standards, where a home-cooked diet, we don't know, you don't know. And so sometimes the unknown can actually be more detrimental, and I've seen that happen. And so we're gonna go through that today. Come on over with me to Balance.it.com, and we're gonna go to recipes. So Balance.it.com is a program that helps build a diet specific to your pet using home cooked or home sourced ingredients. Alternatively, you can just hire a board certified veterinary nutritionist. There's a place on this website where you can do that. But we're gonna work through making our own home cooked diet. We're gonna start here with the adult dog. You can fill in all this information, but we're just going to go ahead and use a 20-pound generic dog that is mid-age, so 5 years old, not a senior. We're going to go ahead and say it's a neutered male because most of our pets are neutered, so we're just going to go with the masses here. We're not going to put any special needs, and then we're going to put here AAFCO dog maintenance. So that's what we want. Now, you do have the option, and we're going to go ahead and do this today. We're going to pick the ingredients because that's what you guys want to do, right? You want to pick your own ingredients. So I'm going to pick some ingredients. It's asking me if there's any ingredients that I would like to leave out. We're not going to do that today. Let's pick a protein. So we're going to start off. Look at all these different options that we can pick. We're going to go with ground beef. It's the first one, so we're going to go ahead and pick ground beef. That's really easily accessible for a lot of you guys. Next time you can see what all is there. If you have another recipe you want me to formulate, pick one of those there, and we'll do this more often if this is popular. Carbs, let's just go ahead with the easy one most people have at home. Do they have just regular rice? Yep, let's just do white rice. We're keeping it simple. Fats, we're gonna pick, most people have, let's do olive oil. So we're gonna pick olive oil for our fat. Veggies, the most popular one that people tell me that they put in their pet's diet is carrots and peas. So we're gonna select that. Everybody loves blueberries. We're gonna throw in some blueberries. We're not gonna do treats and enticers because we're gonna keep it simple here. And then we're gonna click Get Recipe. So it's gonna tell us what we need to balance this diet. Okay, and so this is key right here, and I'm going to, this is the big reason why I want you guys to use a program like Balance.it.com. Even though we picked all those ingredients that you guys love and you think are very varied and diverse, we've got the vegetables, we've got the fruit, we've got the protein source, the fat source, the carb source. This diet, even with doing that, is deficient in 19 items, and we're gonna click on them and we're gonna see what they are. You have to use the Balance.it supplement to round that out, okay? So it is going to be deficient if you do not use that. So if you're going to use this website, and I know many of you are here because you intend to do that, you have to use the supplement. If you do not use the supplement, this diet is deficient and is no better than, you know, the bottom shelf kibble that you would buy at the grocery store. So you have to do that. So let's click on the nutritional profile here really quick. So that you can see what we're talking about. The ingredients that we're going to use is that lean ground beef, 85 grams or 3 ounces. We're going to be using 2 1/4 teaspoons of canola oil. I know that I asked for olive oil, but it needed to substitute it for canola oil, so that's there. We've got an omega Nordic supplement here for omegas. We've got 1 cup of our white rice, 1/2 cup of the blueberries, 5/16 cup grated carrots, or 34 grams. So you're gonna have to get yourself a scale. Definitely recommend you do that just for accuracy. Oh, there's a random cat walking outside. I'm gonna pause. I gotta go check on it. I don't know who that is. That must be a new buddy at my house. 1 second. All right, he ran away, so I couldn't really see him. We'll stay here and we'll keep watching. We'll have to put some food out for him. So peas, green peas, you're gonna need 20 grams of that. You do need some salt added to it, and then you need the Balance.it Canine formula. And so that's the recipe right there. When we do that, let's see, we don't want the caloric distribution, we want the actual nutrient parameters. And so this next part here on the website is going to be the caloric distribution. So this is different than dry matter basis, okay? So these numbers are not going to be exactly the same. You're not going to be able to use our typical chart for this. So it says that these percent calories values are better for comparing diets, but different from percent as fed found on pet food labels. To convert pet food labels, use a free online guaranteed analysis converter under the support tab, and then see cautions and recipe reports for additional important information. And so what you can do is you can come up here to the support tab if you want to do this, and you do a guaranteed analysis converter. So let's say you're feeding a diet and you want to see how it compares. You have to have all of these parameters to be able to do that. So let's say on our normal range, we normally shoot for protein, let's say to be about 25%. Fat, we like around 15%. Moisture, most dry foods are about 10%. Fiber, we want 5% max. And then let's hit calculate here. The caloric distribution is pretty close, So we want 24% protein, about 15% fat. I don't know why it didn't calculate all these other things, but you can play around with this calculator and you can see how it will correspond to the guaranteed analysis. But just know that this is not, these numbers here are not the guaranteed analysis. These are on a caloric density basis, so it's not going to be exactly the same. All right, so as you scroll down, you'll see that they're going to provide us with a bar graph, and this shows the percent of the minimum requirement if you don't buy the supplement. So if you just go with it and you don't buy the supplement, like I am highly recommending that you do, you will see that a lot of the parameters will be okay. But as you get down the list, there we go. So you will see there are some red bars of things that aren't going to be accurate. So if you don't buy the supplement, this diet's going to be deficient in vitamin B, this diet is going to be deficient in selenium, magnesium, tryptophan, which is an amino acid, iodine, very important for thyroid health. Your calcium phosphorus ratio is going to be off. Your phosphorus is going to be deficient, riboflavin, sodium, calcium, and so it goes on and on and on and on and on. So you can go and see what we're going to be deficient in if you do not do the supplement. Now you can change this here and you can say, show the minimum requirement when you do the supplement, and you can see when you add the supplement, we are now all in check. Now, yes, when you add the supplement, some of these things will actually go over, and that can be a problem, but that is the limitation that you are going to have when you try to take a home cooked diet and make it meet the parameters. So this is not perfect. There are some of these, when you add the supplement, you are going to be overshooting because that supplement is not specifically made for this diet and for your pet. It is as close as they can get by making a generic supplement. And so if you want to really be serious about doing a home cooked diet specifically for your pet where everything is on mark, yes, you do have to spend the extra time and the extra money to have that formulated by a board certified nutritionist, but this is the next closest thing. So let's go ahead and let's recap one more time what our recipe is. So this is a recipe, home cooked diet, that's going to be beef, canola, Nordic Naturals, omega-3 liquids, white rice, blueberries, raw carrots, peas. You do have to add some iodized salt, very important that it is iodized, and then you have to buy the Balance.it supplement that they are requesting that you do, and you just click right there on the buy now. Now, cost-wise, let's see what that supplement is going to cost. It's a 20-gram pouch, and it's only going to cost you $8.26. So absolutely something that I think is doable for a lot of you guys. And like I said, I am happy we can go through and we can explore this. You guys can explore it on your own, but this is going to be the highlighted pet home cooked recipe for the week. I know a lot of you guys are really excited to do home cooked, so here's an example that I would feel comfortable with if you were my client feeding. And yeah, let me know what proteins you want to explore next time or what combos, and we will put out maybe another home cooked diet. I don't know how often we'll do this, maybe once a week, maybe once a month, maybe once however often I feel like doing it. But that's Balance.it.com to help you balance your home cooked diets correctly. So please like and subscribe, share this video with your friends, bring awareness to pet nutrition and how to properly formulate a home cooked diet. No more cookie cutter recipes. We're gonna pick what is best for our pet, and we're gonna feed it confidently. So feel free to jump over to my website and check out all my helpful tools that I have available. Check out this guy, Reasons to Feed, so you can learn all the important aspects of all these things that we are talking about, dry matter basis, the nutrients, what the factors are that we are looking for. And yeah, we will hang out again real soon. All right, guys, bye.